Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and today I am officially on my day 100 of eating just mangoes. I was going to go and reach for some, but they're further away. Mostly Namdok Mai mangoes that are abundant here in Thailand. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Tomorrow I'll weigh myself again. I weigh myself once a week. I'll see where I'm at. I predict that I probably haven't lost any weight this week because I've been eating, I think I've been eating more than usual. Yesterday I definitely ate a lot of mangoes. Um, Maybe 20 even yesterday. So more than usual yesterday, but um, Aubrey's gone home. I'm here on my own at the moment, and I guess I've not got a lot to do, so I might as well eat and yeah, and that's it. So I'll be leaving here in a few weeks. Let me see. No, not even a few weeks. About 8, 9 days. I'll be leaving here. I quite it's quite nice in this little resort. I like my neighbours. They're nice people, and it's a nice view. It's a nice place and all that kind of stuff. It's been good to do the mango experiment. I'm not finishing it today, but I don't know. I think it's a good milestone to get to at least. It's a good round number, 3 digits. So I was going to go over like some of what I've learned from eating 100 days what I've learned from 100 days of just eating mangoes. And I think the first thing is I've got less of a negative mindset towards less of a negative feeling towards the whole idea of mono diets. Took me a while to think about that. Yeah, mono diets, because I don't really encourage you all to go to extremes, or I don't think it's an extreme, but an extreme like restricting down to like one or two things, or just one thing, or just juice, or just fruit. Like, I don't think you need to have that kind of mindset. I think you want to have the mentality of an abundant diet. And I don't think myself. I don't think that I restrict myself from eating meat. I just think about all the other stuff I get to eat. Or I don't think I'm restricting myself from cooked food. I just think about all the different things that I can make with raw foods, and even just eating the fruits on their own. So I don't want people to have a restriction kind of mentality. At the same time, I do think you need to be disciplined and cut those things out of your life, but not in such a way that if you're to feel like, oh, I really miss those things, you're not in the right place yet. If you really miss those things. So I actually developed a bit more of a positive feeling towards mono diets, and I do think it's pretty much it feels to me like it's the best way to eat. Like, this is the best way to eat. Um, it just makes sense in every way. Like, human beings are frugivores. Different fruits are in season at different times. It kind of logically makes sense to eat one type of fruit when it's in season, when it's abundant. So I think I guess I have got a more of appreciation of that. So that's one thing. I'm kind of more relaxed, and maybe it would be a good experience for a lot of people. I'm just concerned that for some people, they'll take things too far, and they'll take things too far, and it won't be enough for them to do a mono diet. It'll be like, I need to, only fruit, no water, and then restrict how little fruit can I eat, and then I'll just eat one piece of fruit a day, and then, like, I don't want people to go down that road, which is what some people end up doing. So that's one thing I've learned. I've got a bit more of appreciation, positivity towards mono diets in general. The big thing I learned, I think, is the simplicity of it. It's so beneficial, I guess, to your life in a number of ways when your diet is so simple. So you know what you're going to eat. You know basically how much you're going to eat. You know what it's going to cost. You know where you're going to get it. And that takes away a lot of thought process in your life around food. So that's a great thing, that you don't have to think that much about food. If that makes sense? And if that frees you up a little bit, because you're not thinking, making decisions, having to go over ideas about food, which is a good thing. If you see what I mean. It takes away a lot of the added thought process around food, which I think is pretty good. It makes it a really simple diet and lifestyle. I think digestion is absolutely the best on a mono diet, although I've always had pretty good digestion and always had good digestion on a raw diet generally. But yes, on this mono diet, I would say the most consistent, best digestion. I would say the most consistent energy for me. On a raw diet, usually pretty good energy. On this mango diet, very, very consistent energy for me. So I've really enjoyed that experience. Another few things that I've learned, the detox thing. So a lot of people would maybe say, oh, you may be experiencing a lot of detox during a mango diet or a monofruit diet. I personally do not really think I experienced a lot of detox. And I don't know if I've got a lot to detox. And I don't really focus on detox and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I personally I certainly didn't feel anything negative or bad. It wasn't like I felt like, I didn't really have spots coming out. And although I still do have spots, and Aubrey would say, like, how do you still have some spots when you're on them, when all you're eating is mangoes, So I still did have some few spots and things like that. I'm just trying to think what else. But detox wise, no symptoms really. We were trying to look at my eyes and see if there's any of that iridology stuff happening. I don't think there was a huge change, but there's a change, but I don't know how much you attribute that to the change to the diet. I don't really know. I've not been able to do a blood test or anything yet, so I don't know for sure where I'm at with all that, and I've not really ever done blood tests in the past, so it wouldn't be a good comparison anyway. But I've lost a bit of weight. That's another thing. So it was easy to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, it's a pretty easy way to lose weight because you don't generally feel that hungry on a mono diet. So that's pretty cool. What I also found interesting is I don't really have a craving for other food. And this goes to my point about food in general, maybe different to some other things, but when it comes to food, the more you eat a particular food, the more you crave it. And the less you eat that food, the less you crave it. That's generally how it works. So if you have chocolate all the time, you're going to crave chocolate more. If you stop eating chocolate for months, you stop craving chocolate. Your craving doesn't rise and rise and rise when you don't have it. Now, you'll always be hungry for food. If I was to not eat enough mangoes, I'm going to get hungry for basically anything. As long as I was eating enough mangoes, I barely ever had any moments of wanting to eat anything else. I never really had any moments of weakness that I can really pinpoint and think about. Even when like Aubrey had durian, the really good durian, and I didn't really flinch at that. Went to the raw food restaurants and stuff, wasn't too bothered about not eating there. We had Chempedak sometimes. There's probably a few times in the beginning I was more likely to cave in, but it never felt that strong because fruit doesn't really have that really strong craving thing. Even durian for me doesn't. So I've learned that, the longer you go on a mono diet, it doesn't make you crave everything else. I don't And maybe I will at some point. Maybe I need to keep going for like another year or something before. I don't know how long it would take. So, but that's been an interesting thing, that I've not really craved things, and I've not really craved vegetables as well. You know, people talk about craving vegetables and all that. And even some of the things, like I used to eat a lot of tomatoes. You know, basically had almost a tomato like fetish or addiction or something. But I don't really want to go back. I kind of want to eat tomatoes again, but there's a part of me that goes, I kind of know there's something weird in tomatoes that's like a little bit addictive or something. So I'm not that desperate to eat them again. And maybe even when I finish this, maybe I'll just go on fruit for a while. I might just go fruitarian for a while. Once again, it's not something that I'm trying to like tell everyone else to do, but it might just, if it feels right, I guess. I mean, if I was to, the only thing I would miss is like salad, and then the only reason I would eat salad is because, I mean, the only reason I really ate salad anyway was because of like tomatoes and avocados and different things that I could add into it that I like, and I like the crunchiness of lettuce and vegetables along with those things, but I don't really eat vegetables on their own that much. And nuts and seeds I'm not too bothered about, although I think they're delicious, but I don't not bother too much about them. So, of course, a lot of people will ask questions like, surely you're missing out on something. Not really, do you know? Like, you get all your carbohydrates, you get your protein, you get your fats, a massive amount of all the vitamins you require. Minerals are maybe less than what is recommended in the charts and all that, but it's only minerals. It's not like that's not all that important. Like, I understand a lot of you want to have green juice every day for your minerals, or like make vegetables from your garden, or take daily green boost or whatever, but it's only minerals. Like, no one gets deficient in minerals. Like, what planet are you on? The only thing you really need to worry about is vitamin deficiency, like as a human being, and food deficiency. But you're not going to get vitamin C deficiency on mangoes. You're not going to get vitamin B1, B2, B3, none of these things. Now, the things that vegan you might worry about is B12. I've been kind of cavalier about that anyway. I've not taken B12 in my 8 or 9 years as being a vegan, never taken B12. Either I've got enough storage of it, or I actually make enough, or not me, but the bacteria that are inside me make enough. I don't know, because I don't never had vitamin B12 deficiency syndrome symptoms. So a lot of people, they get a little bit depressed, they get a little bit stressed, and they think, oh, B12 deficiency. Like, no, that's not B12 deficiency. That's just life, you know. But have I felt any of the symptoms of B12 deficiency are much more harsh than that. Like, like pins and needles in your hands and feet and stuff, and there's a lot of more obvious symptoms. But I'm happy to go and get a blood test and work out where I'm at, and that's all good, and see if my B12's low, and then eventually I'll make a decision on should I start supplementing or not, which I don't really mind either way. It's not something I'm particularly concerned about. So I've not experienced any symptoms of deficiency, any symptoms of decline, any symptoms of low energy, any symptoms of emotional stuff, depression or extra stress. I have had stress in my life, but not more than usual. Fitness wise, I feel like performing at a fairly decent level, kind of where I'm usually at. I'm not a particularly fit person, and I'm working on that. I'm exercising every day and swimming every day and stuff. So I'm trying to build up to being stronger and more fit and all that, but that'll take time. And so that's another part of it. And in terms of living life and being part of life, I would say it's mostly been quite easy, although I don't really like it when someone points out this guy only eats mangoes. People do that sometimes. That doesn't don't enjoy that much. My neighbour, we went to a bar the other day and we were playing pool. He was drinking and he had tacos and stuff. He eats whatever. He's just this. He's like a civilian, you know. He's not a fruitarian. He's not one of the fruitarian elites. He's a civilian, and so he does his thing. But he's a fit guy. If you were to meet him, you'd be like, "What? This is a healthy guy and all that." He's fit, um, but he's eating, you know, pretty poor diet. I find it funny when I meet people and I talk to them and they're like, "Yeah, I've been working on my diet, been making some improvements, been cutting out this," and then like you go to the bar, they're drinking, smoking, eating bar food and all that. You're like, okay. So there's different levels of where people's like healthy diet and lifestyle is at, right? And for me, years ago, my healthy lifestyle was no drinking, no smoking, no sugar, and that was what I'm realizing is that was light years ahead of most most people, right? But anyway, yeah, we went to a bar. I don't know if it's that great going to a bar when you're fruitarian and all that stuff and not drinking, not smoking and that. Because I don't know if you maybe pick up a little bit on it. It's not a really great energy. It's not a great atmosphere, you know. It's not sitting on the hill at the Woodstock Fruit Festival vibe, you know. But it was fine, you know. I'm quite happy as long as I ate enough before, had some mangoes after, whatever. It's the same thing as being on a raw vegan diet anyway, anywhere. So that's pretty much a rundown of it. I don't know if there's anything else to say. I didn't have any spiritual experiences. I didn't have any crazy detox. I just felt a consistent energy, consistent flow. I don't feel like I've connected with the mother mango spirit or anything like that. It's weird, like people, this is the other great thing I think about fruit, like people eat some of these magic mushrooms and leaves and all of a sudden they're like the ayahuasca goddess telling them how to live their life. The mushroom people are like telling them how to live their life. Fruit never tells you how to live your life. That's the great, fruit is the highest spiritual entity of all the foods, right? These other things, mushrooms and things, these are dirty foods. These ayahuasca leaves, these are dirty, dirty in the ground, like poisonous leaves, dirty mushrooms. That are like you need to live your life like this. You should be following your purpose. Like shut up, ayahuasca, spirit, mushrooms. What do you know? Get away. Fruit's like up in the tree. Like I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just the best thing for you to eat. And I'm just here. You don't need me. I don't need you. Do your thing. I'm not a spirit. I'm just a fruit. I'm not gonna make you high. Not got any agenda. That's fruit. That is fruit right there. No agenda. I'm not gonna make you have a spiritual experience. I'm not gonna make you depressed. I'm gonna get you right in the middle and you can do what you like. That is fruit. And some people freak out about that. They need to get high, they need to get low, they need to be up and down and up and down. And fruit just puts you there, the perfect place for you to sort your life out, sort everything out, be the best version of yourself, have good relationships, all that stuff. Get fit, enjoy life, work hard, whatever it is. That's what fruit allows you to do. And a lot of people freak out about that because they've never had that experience of consistency like that. Their life's been boop, 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 boop every day. Like waking up really tired, really having coffee, getting really energetic, whatever. Like, then crashing, then having some big lunch and then crashing again, then having some chocolate and then being high again. Like, that's That's the kind of play that goes on, and fruit's just like, beep, like a flatlined patient, but in a good way. So fruit is just there, and it's up in the tree, and it's just like, yo, I'm here. I'm the best thing for you, but I look amazing. I know that, but I'm not. I've got no agenda. You can have me if you like. If you don't, that's fine. Something else will take me, whatever. And that, like, it doesn't even say anything. It doesn't have any words to say. It doesn't even say anything. And that's why it sits in the supermarket and people don't buy it. And then people do buy it, put it in their house, don't even eat it. People buy fruit as a decoration. It's really weird. People buy fruit because they're guilty to walk through the supermarket and not eat it. That is to walk through the supermarket and have all these other foods and not have something that appears healthy because they feel guilty. That's literally why people buy it a lot of the time. That's literally why bananas sell more than anything else, because you need to have something that makes it look like you're doing something to look after yourself a little bit. Otherwise, it's embarrassing to walk through the supermarket. I think probably fruit sales would go down if it was all delivery. I don't know, but people need like a little bowl of fruit, like in their house, like it's a little art piece or something. I'm absolutely convinced that every one of us, we should do this as an experiment. Like, go out, knock on doors where you live, and just say, "Have you got any fruit that you're not eating? Because I'm making like a fruit salad for a party with friends, and I was just wondering I was just seeing if anyone had any fruit that they were going to throw away, and I could use it." I bet that you would go home with the biggest like sack of fruit that you've ever. Because everyone's got fruit they're not eating in their house. Whenever I go to people's houses, like, if they've got fruit, they're not eating it. Even I go to my parents' house, and my mum's basically vegan and all that, but I go to her house, I'm like, that fruit was here the last time I was here 2 weeks ago. How come you've not touched that, moved it? Like, some of it's going off, and just let it sit there and go off. I want to philosophize on fruit maybe a bit more, because I think that some of you don't love it enough. I think you need to get it. You need to see how high it is on the list of things in life. Like, it is, I don't know, man. People go to the ayahuasca spirits and the mushrooms and all this, and what else? Oh, it's funny, like, all these people who are like, what's that? What's this? What's this? Oh, was this made by a company? Is this a product? What's in this? Aqua, ethyl, hexyl, methyl, blathyl. No, I'm not going to have that. That's been made by a company. Right, so there's a lot of people that are like that. That's been made by scientists and experts. I'm not going to have things. Have you got a natural one? Where's the natural thing? Could I have some cinnamon leaves or something ground up? Or whatever it is that people say, right? So people want all that kind of stuff. But they'll have the most manufactured processed drugs. Do you know what I mean? And I mean like party drugs and all that. So there's a lot of people that are weirdly like that. I don't know, man. I'm just not here to get high. Do you know, like the fruit diet, going raw, it'll certainly, if you're just starting off, you'll probably have experience of feeling high at times and feeling really good and feeling really high energy and all that. But I think that's just designed to seduce you a little more into it. And I think it's more that you're getting away from the other things. And all of a sudden your body, that had to put all this energy into keeping you going, like had to pump all this adrenaline into you or whatever it is to like get you through the day, all of a sudden you take away all the stuff that's been holding you down. All these chains, that's the way I see food, these chains, these addictive foods, the holding you down, forcing you down, these demons that are around you, just like, eat me, eat me, eat me, eat me, and you just get rid of all that and you go, and you let all that go. It's like if you were walking through earth and you wore like this suit on you all the time with so much weight on it, or like, yeah, if gravity changed all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you could like fly and jump about in the air, if gravity let up a little bit. It's like that. It's like being unleashed, but your body's not going to keep on pumping you with the same level of adrenaline or whatever. It's going to go, all right, good, he's eating well now, let's go back. Let's just get to normal, we'll feel good. So, health is really boring, like it's about being normal, boring, and it's not about your food being an entertainment factor. That's the one big, huge thing that people can learn on a mono diet, that the food is not entertainment. You know, it's not entertainment. It's not the thing that you should be focused on. It shouldn't be the thing that you're enjoying. Like, you should be getting high and happy on like contribution and social things, and I don't know, connecting with people and doing something kind for someone. I think that's the stuff that we should try and focus more on. You tell me, but I think that we should. I think that's what I'm trying to do. One time, me and Aubrey had this great thing called Daily Habits of Self-Love, and we had things in it like random acts of kindness, and so there was a time where I was more focused on that, and every day you'd look to do something kind for someone. It was like, that was great. That made you feel so good. Things like that are what we should be thinking of more. And how can we create and do things that improve our life? We've got this great situation where we have basically the ability to have all the food we want, and we can, if you're fortunate, even if you're in a full-time job, you still have a lot of time. Unless you've got a really crazy job, in which case you maybe don't have any time to yourself. But even in that situation, you probably feel kind of good about that in a way, because you've just got this total focus in life, and hopefully it's something you like doing and all that. But we've got this opportunity to do stuff and create stuff, and we're fortunate, super fortunate. There's a massive amount of the world that doesn't have enough food every day, like a massive amount of the world. It's a disgrace. Like, I don't know what we're going to do about that. It's ridiculous. But going vegan would be a good start. But, you know, why are people spending our lives thinking about food, thinking about what meal you're going to have today or tomorrow or the weekend, or, you know, you sit there looking. It frustrates me so much. Like, if I ever go to restaurants, people, they look and look and look at all the stuff, and they just pick something. It's not that important. Like it all tastes roughly the same anyway. It's a big salty taste with a whole bunch of fat in it and crunchiness and whatever. Like, it's not that different. When I go to, I'm a bit of a weird guy, I guess, because even on a raw diet, I get very like, the mango diet, I only had one type of mangoes. I almost never had any desire to eat any other type of mango. I just get zoned really in on something. When it comes to raw diet, I'm more varied. I got really zoned in on like 4 or 5, 6 foods, and that's all I really focused on. I wasn't eating 10 fruits a day. I was eating 10 fruits a year or something. 10 different. No, but I'd have bananas a lot. I would have grapes a lot. I would have tomatoes, lettuce, orange juice, or oranges, or apples. Another one. And if you want to keep it low cost, because a lot of people complain about the price of eating raw food, if you focus on apples and bananas, most of your calories from bananas and apples, you're going to be in a pretty good place in terms of the cost of the diet, for sure. For sure. And what's wrong with having like banana smoothies every day and apples for snacks, or apple juice or whatever, orange juice as well is another thing. So people, what's the message? I'm enthusiastic about the 100-day mango thing. I'm not trying to tell anyone else to do it. I think it's a good thing, but I do think it's good actually. And I think it should be more of a normal thing. I don't think it should be seen as like, wow, that's amazing. That's so difficult. How did you? I don't think we should see it like that. I think we should get to a point where we're like, yeah, oh, you're going on persimmons for, yeah, the persimmons are really good right now. I'm just going to eat persimmons for a while. Yeah, that sounds cool. Like it should be more like that. It shouldn't be like, how are you going to get all your calories on persimmons? You know? Does that make? I think that's. Or how are you going to get all your minerals? For me, one of the reasons I wanted to keep doing it long, there's a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to actually make it a bit of a story, get some attention. Maybe it would bring some attention to the fruit festival if I got this. Like this, I might try and get this story into the press. You know what I mean? Into, I don't know. I was going to say something there, but I won't. You know, maybe that'll be an interesting story. Like, oh, here's a fruitarian that went on mangoes for 100 days. That's crazy. Wow, he's mad, you know, like maybe that's a good story. I also kind of wanted to prove to people, like, I know that vegetables are deep in people's hearts and everyone wants minerals and everyone wants to have salty food and people want to have green juice and all that and daily green boost and whatever. I'm not saying it's not important, but I just want people to get it. Don't freak out about not having vegetables every day or every moment, or not having 2 or 3 pounds of greens a day. Like, if your goal is to follow the RDA chronometer stuff, you do need to add more vegetables into your diet to hit that. If that is your goal, that's what you need to do. Or you need to eat a super amount of fruit, which means a very active lifestyle, which is also cool. But I'm not convinced that you're going to get low on any minerals on a fruit diet. I'm really not convinced, and I'm not convinced that the RDAs for protein, which on a fruit diet you can hit at 50% pretty much fairly easily, unless once again you can go for more on a super high calorie diet, but most apes are eating 2,000 calories or less. Most of the primates that are they're not far off our size, maybe not quite as big as us, some of them. They're around 2,000 calories a day, and probably more active than us. I think we need a bit more than that because we're bigger and we walk, but and we stand up straight a lot of the time. Anyway, this is getting to be a super long video, but some of you like the long videos, so I'm not too bothered about that. But yeah, it's been a good experience.